Yeah, we are. We are. Oh yeah. There's no graphics though. Welcome to AM Kevin. No, it's not snowing. It's raining. There you go. It was all white. That's snow. It looked like kind of like snow. It would be nice if it was snow, but it is raining all day, and it's supposed to rain again all night tonight. But tell us the weather where you are, Don. Hi, Kevin. You're the first to tap in, Don. And so Don went to college with my brothers, actually. And so I just knew him from the college because I worked with the college president. So Don, I'm not sure what Don is, but yeah. Linda has joined us. Steve has joined us. It's Jeff and Doreen. What's up? Are you not on?
I'm just not on.
You're not on, yes. Well, did you turn it on in the little back?
It's on.
Oh, okay. Just checking. It's a rainy day. But, wow, we're glad everybody's here. I've taken my essential energy already today because I am like, you know, when it's rainy, it's, you know, and then I just wanted to sleep later. I slept to the very last possible second today, about 7:50, almost 8 o'clock before I got up, you know, and so, but I got her all done, got the dogs outside before the heavy rain came, because they won't go. If it's heavy rain, we're out,
Ixnay on the Oge.
Yeah, they're like, I'm sorry, but we cannot go out there in that rain. But anyway, talk about a rainy day. It became a rainy day for all transgender people yesterday.
Gosh.
He has made the proclamation they will be banned from the military. Now, I don't know if that's current one, but see, there's no current ones. I mean, when they got in, they weren't one sex. They've changed during while they were in the military, the ones that are in. So I don't know if that counts.
Somebody said 6,000. Somebody said 12,000.
Yeah.
I find that hard to believe.
Of course. They're fixing the numbers, it sounds like. But I'm not against anybody. I'm not judging anybody.
Here's my deal.
His argument is the cost of their sex changes.
Here's my deal. Anybody should be in the military, but this dude, Bradley Manning, who's a traitor. You know about this guy?
No.
This guy, he released, you know, he was one of the original leakers about 4 years ago.
Oh, wow.
You know, and he released some stuff that was good that we needed to find out, but you're still not allowed to do that. You're still not allowed to, it's still not proper to release, you know, classified documents like that.
Yeah.
And then he became Chelsea Manning. While he's there, you know how much that surgery cost, Kevin? Anywhere from $2.5 to $8 million.
For what change?
For a change surgery that they have to fully pay for.
And if there are 12,000 that we have to change, yeah, no wonder. You know, just on an economic basis, I mean, because I'm sure that the president or everybody in charge doesn't mind if people enlist and sign up, but sign up as already your guy or girl, whatever you think you are. Right? Don't change, because that's what they're wanting to do.
Guess.
And I think that's why they have to make
our
this.
Our world is crazy, Kevin.
Our world is crazy. To even talk about this seems so crazy to me, but there it is. There are horrible things happening around the world. Of Venezuela still having these protests. There's been deaths and a lot of people wounded. They don't like what, you know, as much as we have this in America, you know, our protests, most of them are pretty... some are not as civil as others, but you know, there's nobody getting killed. You know, and so this happened in Venezuela, and so our prayers go out to all the folks out there. I know those who struggle as a communist country and trying to change. There are a lot of Christians out there as well that would like to see this change. This is that quote that I finally found. I've had it in the backseat of my car, and I wanted to, it was in the Branson Daily Independent. Shout out to Branson. You know, I circled. You're looking at this, and everything looks like normal. You know, they're having a ribbon cutting ceremony for the $80 million they just spent downtown. There's Prince Ivan sneaking in for free ice cream right there. Yeah, right there in the front. But it's President Gerald Ford's quote.
Okay.
This is great. You know, because Republicans don't really want big government or whatever. I don't think anybody really does, but that's what they say. And I don't think the Democrats want more government. They just want everybody to be happy. But anyway, I don't know. The Republicans, that's one of their platforms, though.
That's one of their platforms, yes, less government.
But this, you've got to agree with. I think you agree with that anyway. You don't want big government.
Well, we'll
Do you want big government? No, you don't want
It's
government in every part of our life. Right, that's why I think it's kind of a
Big government.
A slogan. It's more of a slogan than a real thing.
It's more something that
it's
people
always going to be there.
Who are fearful of the government call something big government.
Yeah, that's part of it. That's a slice of it, but that's not all of it. I mean,
nobody wants.
There are things that they need to just back up out. But
well, like I mean, in our personal lives,
I don't think anybody wants the government to run the country. That's why we came from England.
Well, no, that's not necessarily true.
What? Well, there are some, but I think in people's. Well, I'm talking about normal people, people with sense.
No, there's
don't
about
want
half
the government
the
to run
country
the whole.
Who believe that
the government should run the whole.
No,
you think
no.
What?
That government has a major, significant role to play in economics.
Well, yeah. Oh, okay. Duh.
Well, not,
I'm
not
talking
necessarily
about.
Duh. Tell Rand Paul that he doesn't think that's a duh.
What do you mean? What does he believe?
He's a major, big-time libertarian guy. He doesn't believe the government should do anything, basically.
Oh, well, that's ridiculous.
But that's a
lot
of conservatism.
That's why I would never vote for him. But he doesn't want us to go to any wars either. But
yeah.
the thing is...
Okay, tell me. Tell me the quote.
But I'm just saying at the heart of it, I don't think people want the government to run the whole country.
No, not
right.
No.
The people are the one that in everybody's heart, Democrat and Republican. I think the Republicans make a bigger thing of it, which is good. Maybe we need to. But anyway, Ford says, if the government is big enough to give you everything you want, it's big enough to take away everything you have. Isn't that a great quote, though? It's true, though. Because we're definitely an entitlement society. There's a whole talk about that. But I wasn't going to get into politics today. I was going to also mention we're going to pray for the people in Greece. Did you see the earthquake? You know, there's people eating and people in their businesses and the thing shaking. Earthquakes are so scary. Have you ever been in an earthquake? They're just scary. I was in Anaheim, just had a day off. I was somewhere in California preaching. I took a day off, went down to Anaheim, stayed in a hotel because the next morning I was going to get up and go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
You knew what I was going to say. So I went to Disney by myself, which I don't ever want to do that again. It was kind of weird.
No, that's
I
awesome.
hung out with some German people that could barely speak English. I followed them from ride to ride, kind of. They were just kind of like I was their American buddy. I don't know, but they put me in front of them at the log ride so that I would cover their wetness because I'd never been on that one before and I didn't know you really got wet. Anyway, so I did my part to help Germany. What was I talking about?
Talking about
an earthquake.
Yeah.
So I'm in the hotel, and all of a sudden it was the Northridge earthquake that was pretty popular and killed a lot of people. But it's like I thought somebody was at the end of my bed and was just moving my bed and shaking it, and I thought somebody broke into the hotel room. I was that scared, and jumped up and jumped into the bathtub, which. That's what you do during a hurricane or a tornado. You're supposed to stand in the doorway for an earthquake, which I found out later. I don't know.
Stand in the doorway?
Yeah.
What's that about?
Everything can fall around you, but the doorway usually I don't know. Structurally, they're more sound. You know, because if you could stand on the outside of the doorway and the thing crumble and fall on you. You could be inside, collapse on you. But the doorway, for some way, that's what they tell you. I don't know. I don't think a bathtub is that safe in a tornado either, but I guess the bathtub doesn't blow away.
You're supposed to a bathtub, and you're supposed to have a mattress over you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
There's the tip of the
You're missing the main part of it there. You're supposed to have a mattress. Yes, because that piece of linoleum will stay in the ground. It's concrete into the ground, kind of. But, and if you have that mattress over you, and if you're able to keep it over you, if it's able to get wedged over you, then stuff will fall on the mattress. Yeah. That's what happens in tornadoes. Stuff falls on your head, and that's how a lot of times you get hurt.
Not good. Not good. So. Well, I hope that was entertaining for Phyllis, Carrie Ann. Carrie Ann is reposting our AM show.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. David is there. Dave Creech, a great talent. Brandon. Patty from Montana, Stephanie, John and Vicky, Dave, and David. Tell us what your weather's like there, man. It's just rainy here. If y'all are from another state, how's Montana? Patty always tells us Montana. That weather always changes up there.
Oh, yeah.
Seems like it's different every day. There's a new Switzerland. I guess Switzerland is where you could have these safe bank accounts.
Oh, yeah, right.
You know, you take your, what are they called?
They only use numbers. Swiss bank accounts. And,
Swiss bank accounts. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
There's a new Switzerland. Guess where it is?
Where?
United States.
Oh, great.
2 states now are going to have, you can have not only
Delaware,
have Swiss bank accounts. No.
No. Delaware is the usual one where they always can do stuff like that.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas? Guess where? Nevada.
Yeah.
So you can have a Nevada bank account. Instead of a Swiss, you have a Swiss Nevada and South Dakota.
Who started all this?
I don't know. The banks decided they could have, some of those funds go there.
Kevin, North Dakota is the only state that follows the Jacksonian model of basically disbelief in the federal banking system, and they're the only state that's debt-free. They've been debt-free their whole existence.
Wow.
That you should look into the banking system in North Dakota.
It's so cold. I live there.
Yeah.
But
it's really interesting.
It gets so cold. The fourth largest economy in the European nation is now in trouble, has been in trouble for a little while now. You know what the fourth largest economy in the European nation would be? I'm not even sure I know what the first, second, and third. Maybe Germany's second or third or first.
Italy? I don't know.
It is Italy.
Nice.
Very good. It's Italy. Yeah, their economy's in trouble too. Yeah. Yep. And the Russian economy will shrink at least 1% this year. Shrunk almost 1% last year, maybe 2% this year. And Switzerland, speaking of Switzerland, their watches, the Swiss watches, going down in sales. They're taking a licking.
How are their pocket watches doing?
It was an old commercial, Swiss watch. Take a licking, but keep on ticking. Do you remember that one? Or was that before your time?
I don't know.
That was 70s.
How are their army knives doing, Kev?
I don't know. Maybe better. Maybe they're doing okay. But the watches, not so much.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes. So since the sanctions lessened on Iran, Europe and Asia are taking more advantage than we are as far as companies and business deals. Gasoline and I don't know why Iran needs more oil, but I guess gasoline and some of the companies, business comes from Europe and Asia are taking advantage because even though we have lessened sanctions, we still have more restrictions than they do. So that deal once again proves.
When did we lessen sanctions?
Of Obama with the deal with Iran. We allowed them the nuclear thing. We also stopped. We stopped the.
Oh Lord! I knew you didn't like the deal, but to say it lessens sanctions.
He did. They made a deal that we could have open because they were starving. They needed help, so we lessened sanctions. We allowed them the nuclear to build whatever. I don't know. We gave them money even. We gave them whatever $1 billion.
We banned them building nuclear weapons for 10 years.
Well, should there be a time limit on that? I think we.
Well, that could be a criticism, but to say that we allowed them to.
Yeah, we did. We dropped the whole ban.
Okay.
Well, no, we did. How are you going to argue that?
Hand of the AM, everybody.
That's why I didn't like it. No, I'm just reporting the news.
That's not even.
What was Obama's deal with Iran?
I haven't even heard somebody criticize it like that.
Everybody pretty much does. That has any
no,
sense.
Your side does, but I've heard people say that it doesn't last long enough. But to say it doesn't like help some or something, that's.
It doesn't ban it.
It does.
Well, we didn't help them, but I'm saying as part of that deal, we lessened the sanctions so that we could send in stuff, export, import. We lowered the export-import thing because there was a ban at the time. But Europe and Asia are still getting more because we still have these certain restrictions that are still either loosen those all the way for us to at least make some money. But I'm not for that at all. I don't think we should do anything with them. They are anti-America. They want to destroy us.
Right. We're trying to get them to not do that.
I know. I think there's a better way. Obama may have had good intentions, but I still think
forget about
it was
Obama.
A bad deal.
Everything shouldn't be about, that guy. Like everything.
Well, he's the last one to do something.
Okay, but you know what? Like with healthcare. What?
No, I'm not talking about healthcare. I'm talking about Iran.
Wait, hold on. Let me just ask you a question real quick.
Yeah.
What should be fixed about it?
Hey,
specifically.
It's hot in Montana, and there's fires have gone from California to Montana, I guess.
Well, okay.
Ronnie in Georgia is there. Hi, Ronnie, my good buddy. What were you saying now? What should we do? What
should we fix about healthcare?
Oh, it's you know where it is right now.
No, but I just don't think that. But how was it before?
The free market. Everybody could decide what they want. The deal. I don't have an answer.
So
I thought they had an answer. I wish they did. I thought they had an answer.
But I just don't understand.
Everybody could go to State Farm, Prudential, Geico, whatever, and get their insurance, and they would. You go to your insurance company.
Any kind of pre-existing condition.
Right.
And then when something did happen,
that was good.
They'd come back.
You pick one good thing of the whole debacle.
I'm not saying
he said you could pick your own insurance company. You couldn't. He said you could go to the computer.
What I'm saying is,
free market.
Kevin,
it was a debacle.
4 days ago, we had this conversation that yes, it is broken.
Yes.
But healthcare was broken before it. But what I'm saying is, and you even acknowledge this, the Republicans are the dog that caught the car. They don't know what to do now. It's what it seems like. But what should they do? I don't understand. I mean, I know that you don't have. I'm not asking you to know every single detail of it, but what is so bad about that needs to be fixed about this? What is the...
That is the dumbest question I've ever heard you ever ask.
No, tell me specifically.
No offense, but that is the dumbest question.
Tell me.
If something's broken, it needs to be fixed. Period.
No,
I don't know how.
Kevin,
that's what they're supposed to do.
For 100 years, there was a vase sitting on the ground that was broken.
It's better with the pre-existing thing, but the rest of it was horrible. So they need to keep that, which they say they're going to keep pre-existing. They're going to give tax credits, and they're going to do some. I know that's one thing that they're going to do, to give not only tax credits and some sort of bonus so that you can pick the thing. But once again, when you mess with this, taxes have to be raised. There has to be something. Who's going to pay for it? So I don't have an answer, and I think it's a horrible thing to have even gotten into to begin with.
We have to fix health care.
There you go. So why do you ask me what needs to be fixed?
Because you guys are the ones, your people are the ones that say it's horrible.
Don't say my people. I'm for all people.
Okay, but you just watch one network and vote for one type of president.
I do not just watch one network. Why are you judging me like that?
No,
it's not true.
We just have
to
think about
common sense, and I say,
but I'm just asking,
something needs to be fixed.
Needs to be fixed about it, though? I just don't understand.
I just don't think. Here's where it goes with what Gerald Ford says. I think if we want the government to give us everything we want, they're big enough to take away everything we have. And I think this is part of it.
So
we shouldn't even in the middle of healthcare to begin with.
So we should let those greedy companies be the only ones that control everything.
Well, it seemed to work for hundreds of years.
Really?
Yeah.
So 70% of people...
I had great insurance before
70% of bankruptcies in this country happen because of health insurance. 70% of bankruptcies in this country happen because of health insurance.
Where do you get that from?
Kevin,
bankruptcies come from health insurance?
70% of all bankruptcies in this country came from health insurance. That doesn't make sense to you? These surgeries cost millions of dollars to people.
Maybe there's things to be fixed, but shouldn't they be fixed without interfering and taking it all over? The government always messes everything up. The postal service,
they really didn't do that.
The educational system.
We didn't have a single-payer system.
Everything.
It did not become a government system. It's still the insurance companies. There were just...
No. Are you kidding me?
Kevin, I bought insurance under this plan. I bought it from Aetna.
I know, but the government has interfered now with all of health insurance. Okay. Everybody's now paying through the roof. I mean, it's going to spiral out of control. Something has to be done. And now it has to be the government, because I don't think anybody can fix it. You're like you say, the insurance companies are not going to fix it.
No,
they're not. Once they've been in my greedy groups of the day,
I know.
For sure. But
just saying, everybody has criticisms. Nobody has answers.
Don't say it doesn't need to be fixed. Or
no, I'm not saying it doesn't need to be fixed. I'm asking you what needs to be fixed about it.
Oh, see, yeah. Well, those things. We need to lower the rates. Everybody should have. But then again, if everybody has health care, who's going to pay for it? So I don't know. That's why I say the government has interfered too much. Obama should have never interfered. I don't say never. They should have interfered with the things that were broken and fixed them. But, you know, there was a stack. I saw it. We had it printed out. It was this high. And part of it was like people controlling who died.
No, it's not. That's insanity.
You read it first and you tell me if it's not.
That's insanity, Mr. Hannity.
No, it's not. No, you talk about the one person I don't even like. I've never watched him. I don't like. I mean, I love everybody, but I never liked his show.
There were no death panels. That was a myth.
No, I read it, bro.
No.
Bro, how can you say that?
It was a myth.
Your people put out stuff and then deny it. I don't even understand.
My people, and yet I'm the one who sits there and talks about transgender. You know, not my people.
You're talking about your people, though.
No, it's not my people.
Well, you're talking about, I don't know who you want to claim, but
I don't claim nobody.
I'm definitely talking about, you know, the Democrats and President Obama. They should have never messed with it, only fixed the stuff that was broke. But instead, they went through all kinds of stuff. But I saw there would be a committee that would decide if this person could pull the plug or not. Yes.
I know people said that, Kevin. I know all the Republican sides.
No, I read it. I'm not saying it. I read it. Okay, but anyway. Unless it can be interpreted different, I don't know. I was not even going to politics today.
I know, but
you got there because I was talking about other countries.
Talk about for a couple weeks.
Iran.
I just need to sometimes.
Well, Iran was a bad deal, and part of it is we're getting taken advantage of anyway. Are you ready for a greedy group, man? I feel like it's just been negative. I don't even want to go to greedy groups.
It doesn't have to be negative. We can talk, and it doesn't have to be.
No, I'm fine, but I feel very sad that you didn't read it, but you think you know.
Kevin.
Okay, but anyway. And then Iran, you think that was a good deal? Oh, God.
I didn't say that it was necessarily a good deal.
Oh, okay, good then.
Maybe we should have it longer than 10 years, but to say that it didn't force them from not doing a nuclear program, I mean, that was what they came up with. It was going to be a 10-year ban. I don't know. Maybe we go back after 10 years and we get longer. I don't know. But the idea of them not developing a nuclear weapon is a good idea. I mean, it's.
And why do we have to give them money to do that, though? And then we did lower our sanctions, but then we still have restrictions. I just didn't understand that. Everybody else is getting to take advantage of that. It just seemed like could have been a better deal.
Could have been. I don't think it's like.
Well, hey, Richard and Tom and Rita. Oh, Rita, South Dakota. Talking about South Dakota. Did you know, Rita, you can have a Swiss bank account there now, and it's going to be a South Dakota bank account.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And isn't it like the Swiss bank accounts, because you can put no matter where it came from, or
because it's only a number, you don't have to have a name. That's what it is.
So it's like secret accounts.
Yeah.
So now they have them in Nevada and South Dakota. Greedy group of the day. How do you know if they're greedy? Because it's all about one topic, and that is whether it's a greedy group of the day. My thing says broadcast interrupted. Is the storm taking out our internet? Are we good here? It said at about the same time I saw. Yep, we're back on again. But I guess if we get interruption, it might be the rain or whatever. But yeah, that was another thing, by the way, about health care.
Tell me.
Well, that we got fined if we didn't have it.
Have you? I haven't.
No, because Trump changed that when he became president.
No, you don't. I haven't ever made enough to get fined, but.
Yeah, she got fined.
So, how much would health care have cost you for the whole year, and how much was the fine?
Yeah, but if you don't want it, it wouldn't cost you anything.
Well, if you don't want it, it's going to raise costs for everybody else.
Well, not if they're not involved. The government's not involved.
No, the more people who are in the exchanges, the lower the rates will be.
I know.
Right.
But
that's why the individual mandate is.
Part of this exchange thing.
So maybe we get rid of the individual mandate.
Yeah.
So that's a fix.
I don't know.
Not just get rid of it because it's touched by the evil.
Well, fix it.
Former president.
Well, I didn't say.
Or how about that's what the other people say.
Now
or how about
like Hannity.
Or how about the fact that
you sound like Hannity.
No.
Will you stop?
Or how about the fact that let's make it to where people don't like the fact that you can only get within your state on the exchanges. You can only look within your state, and so people might leave. So how about let's just make it nationwide? Okay, those are two fixes right there.
That'd be great.
Okay, but then
why don't you run for president?
But we don't have to do anything else like get rid of it because those are two huge changes. Why can't we make those changes? Like,
I don't know.
Because
it's a good question.
It's
finally a good question.
It's too ideological. That's my whole point.
Well, I hope not. That's ridiculous. People suffer with ideologies like that. But Patty, you're here. But I said, what's the weather like in Montana? Oh, she did tell me it was fires and it was hot. That's right. I forgot. Sorry. Gosh, got me going. How's the weather, Ronnie, down in Georgia? Anyway, greedy group of the day.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And
tell me.
I have two of them today.
Okay.
And they all have to do with franchises.
Uh-huh.
One franchise.
The Boston Patriots and, different kind of franchises.
New England Patriots.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Boston Red Sox. By the way, I read something about the British Open. That's golf, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, was All-American. Was started in the headline. Do you know anything about that? There was all... Oh, wait a minute. I think I saw it in here.
This kid, Jordan Spieth, is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Last week it opened up. Jordan Spieth starts the British. Spieth leads an All-American start to the British Open.
Interesting. Yeah, he won, and he's only like 22. He's got three of the four majors right now. He's like the next Tiger or Jack Nicklaus or.
Well, they Dixie Fieldhouse every day, actually every afternoon, but also the new one on Friday.
I've always root for the SEC guys though.
The Royals beat the Tigers.
Nice.
There you go.
I always root for the SEC guys in golf though. and one of them's name's Bubba. And the other one, can't remember.
Bubba Watson?
Bubba Watson, yeah. And then Jason Duffner. And they're both just big guys. One's from Auburn, Georgia. They can just smack the heck out of the ball.
They do.
And, you know.
They're really good. There's a franchise that would not serve breakfast after, and all of these fast food restaurants were not selling breakfast after 10 o'clock. Some of them 9:30. You'd go.
Yeah, I hated that.
I rushed to get to the drive-through, and it was, I'm sorry, it's 10:01. You know, we don't have any. Do you have any leftovers? I would sometimes actually get the leftovers like half price. They would just sit there.
Oh, really?
Cold.
You asked them like that?
I'll do anything if I need breakfast. You know, and I need breakfast today for sure, especially, bacon. But they will find out someday that bacon and ice cream both cure cancer. But, you know, until they figure out how that's done. You know, they found poison ivy brings, you know, anti-inflammatory if you reverse it.
Absolutely, man.
I know, it's silver, you know. I'll talk about that in a second. But, okay, we are running out of time. We went so long bashing Obama, and I don't like that. But I don't. McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, all the fast food places. Now, I think McDonald's led the way. Breakfast all day long. So they are my greedy group of the day before.
Yeah.
Now they're my heroes. So we have got into heroes. We got a hero music. But they're my heroes of the day because they have started breakfast all day long. And they have the best. Go ahead. McDonald's is my hero. And all the fast food that do this. But I'm picking especially on McDonald's as my hero because they had now, since they've done this, they have the best quarterly growth in 4 years. They have grown 5% just because of breakfast.
That's awesome.
Who would have known?
Yes.
Okay, so my shout out, because these are my greedy groups, but they're not my heroes yet. But they'll be heroes when they figure this out. All department stores, men's stores. They're still not my heroes. They're still greedy groups. For some reason, maybe it costs for extra cloth, but they will not get nice clothing, suits, shirts, pants for fat people. And I think
wait, who is this?
They are greedy. All department stores and that will not have, and if they do have a fat man section, I'm sorry, they have a big and tall section. It's polyester stretchable junk, right? Get us the nice. We that are a little plumper, we want to wear some of the nice clothes too that the skinny people wear. You know, we want some Polo. And it's not just the stores. Stop talking about Polo and Tommy and some of you designers, Calvin Klein. Come on, wear Armani. Get us some stuff. Now, I will say though, so I think that if they join the bandwagon of the fast food people and change their policy, like get fat clothes, and because you know fast food people got breakfast now and they've risen 5% in their income in their last quarter, that they would be helped. But I will say, I am working on it, and today I am the lowest in like the history of mankind for my life. I've hit a landmark.
Yeah.
Yes, I've hit a zero number. I am now. I've gone in this journey from 350 to 280, 70 pounds lighter than I was. I am now 280.
Do you just feel it every day? I mean,
I feel better.
Tell? Yeah.
My blood sugar is lower. Now, it is partially due to this, and it would be time to do a good commercial. You know, the KFC is not Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
It's Kevin's favorite combo, which is the CLA, the Essential Energy, and the Smart Caps. I really feel this kicked it into the journey. Now, I've even had some for a while because I've been doing mostly diet, and I'm going to join something because I want to swim. I got to do stuff. I got a treadmill in the garage. I need to pull it in.
Yeah.
I got to add some exercise. But the CLA started me in this. It inspired me. Valerie Saxon will be here next week, and she has a newer. So you need to get this. This is great stuff. And because I want to talk about the new stuff, but the newer stuff, I can't wait to try that out. But try this now. CLA, it's all natural. Conjugated linoleic acid is what it stands for, and it's all natural ingredients. It's no chemicals, no synthetics. But you add the energy to it. Do away with the coffee, you know, or whatever. You know, the coffee not so bad, but these energy drinks and stuff, terrible for you. I need to take these on the road because you know what I do on the road. You know my drink of choice,
Monster,
to stay me awake is Monster. Not good, bless you. But, you know, essential energy is a better thing to have. And the Smart Caps keeps your brain function and circulation going. And all these have helped to lower the blood pressure and the blood sugar. I've noticed, because I check my blood sugar a couple times a day, that even without my supplements I was taking, I'm still maintaining a lower blood sugar.
That's awesome, man.
So you say, I got diabetes and I don't know how to. Well, if you're overweight, could be connected.
Yeah.
So
you know, Kevin, height equals a lot of weight, you know, too.
Who?
So
what?
height equals a lot of weight, you know.
Yeah.
And so you're a lot taller than me.
Almost,
and so,
yeah, 6'1".
Yeah, so if you lose like 25 more pounds, you'll only be 100 pounds more than me. So you're doing awesome, man.
Well, it was amazing. When I got on, I wasn't even sure because I didn't cheat or do anything bad last night. But I don't know. I just didn't feel lighter. So I got on the scale thinking I'm going to be still the 281-ish. It was 280, and it bounced between the 280 and the 279. So I've almost really, if I'd have just, you know, just went to the bathroom one more time, it'd have been 279.
Yeah. There you go.
Anyway, hey Ricky, hey Rita, what is Rita saying? Patty's saying preaching about the bacon and the ice cream, but
they're just all just kind of praising you.
That's good. Yeah, CLA, very good. So try the KFC, Kevin's favorite combos today, or you can try, you know, each one separate. If you want to try this CLA, man, do it, man, do it. Patty, come on. Ricky, come on. Now I know them, you know, and I know they have a couple pounds they could lose.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying to be mean, but man, do something. If it's not working, try something different. And I finally found something that works for me. And Rita says I look great. I just had to say that for some reason. But we have our coffee mugs, we have our T-shirts, we have the silver. I mean, can you see? You know, there's just that one little. There was two. Remember?
It's gone more than every day. Different cut every day.
Go every day. Go to inside joke. Go to kevinshorey.com. Go there. Find some stuff, because not only will it help you, but we really need your help today. I've been doing a lot of crying this week. We are really, really low. We are really like in the hole, kind of low. Like when you're low and you got a few dollars, it's okay. But when you're in the hole, that's not so good. Not so good. And I don't know why I did that accent, but Cliff and Joyce just joined me. Man, not for their lack of trying. Man, they've been great givers this month. Appreciate that. They were blessed so much by a sale of a house, and they felt impressed to give some proceeds from that, and they were so appreciative to that. I just sent you out a thank you card again, because I just think about folks like that. There's a man, James, he and his wife from Kentucky, who give a significant amount every month and stuff. And so it's not for some people trying, but if everybody did their part, honestly, if everybody did their part, it would really help us. My brand new CD, I'm not sure why people don't want to hear my new music or whatever. Maybe it's too expensive. I don't know, is $20 too expensive? If you'll do it today, we'll do it 15. We'll take 5. We'll do it 15. No,
heard it here first.
Forget that. Let's do $10. Woo. $10, and we'll pay the shipping. I don't know how. But I want everybody to get the CD and tell me what they think, because I really made this to bless people. I can have a whole box of them in my house, or in my office, I mean, and just sit and play them to myself.
Yeah.
But I know what it's. I've already been blessed by these songs. I want you to be blessed, and so we'll do that. If you're doing the monthly, keep it going. Thank you so much. If you haven't started, $34 a month. I think everybody could do that. Do you know if we had everybody that watches. On television, everybody that watches, I mean, you can't really gear on television, but just by the YouTube, Facebook Live, just Facebook Live alone, everybody would do that $34 a month. I wouldn't have to do any of this. I wouldn't even have to take the commercial break time. We could just go forward. And so let's do that. The monthly, you're getting my newest sermon. They're getting the How to Get Out of the Kiddie Pool of Potential, what I preached at Glad Tidings Church. There with Pastor James McIntosh. Glad Tidings is in Springfield, Missouri. And our craft of the month from the Craft Village is this bar of soap from the Getaway Gift Shop right here in the Branson Mill. And it's lavender purple, wonderful. And I bathed with some today. No, I didn't, but I'm going to tomorrow. I'm going to, because tomorrow, after tomorrow, I can take this bar of soap home. I can't even,
Yes.
I can't afford to take more to buy soap in the store, so I'm going to take one of my monthly gifts. But anyway, hey, it's time for my favorite part of this program. By the way, I got a great compliment.
Yeah.
Pastor friend of mine who was watching for the first time yesterday, he said, what a genius, I don't know, he said genius, but what a marvelous idea, your AM Kevin show. He says, you're going to reach people that wouldn't watch the Kevin Shorey show, or, that was more, that's more of a spiritual one, but this is more of the news. And he says, you guys, and he says, who's that young guy? And I go, it's my nephew. Oh, your nephew.
Yeah.
He said, now he's 80-something years old, and he's been pastoring and been on Christian television since it started.
Yeah.
Man, just a father of the faith, right? He pastors a great Horizon Church in Daytona Beach, Florida. And he pastors 2 churches. His son, he kind of co-pastors with in San Diego, California.
Oh, okay.
So he's both coasts. Said that the best part of it is you keep people entertained. You keep, you keep going from one thing to the next. And stuff. Here's our next thing. Here's the historical moment with Marshall Howden. It's my favorite song. There you go. From the group Multi-Directions. Got a whole lot of history. Today's history, number 43, Bush number 43.
Yes, sir.
George W.W., the only president that I've actually seen in concert. Seen seen him do a speech, shook hands with his wife, Laura Bush, beautiful lady, and the only president I've seen in person. I'm hoping to maybe meet or see President Trump, Pastor Trump. Now that would be amazing. President Trump. But
I wanted to go to the inauguration.
George W. is the only
one.
I know. We kind of almost did.
That would have been fun.
We were this far, but yet this far at the same time. But anyway.
All right. George Walker Bush.
Yes.
Number 43. He was born in Kennebunkport, Maine.
He was born in Maine. Okay. All right, Maniacs.
From Texas.
Yeah.
2001 to 2009. Republican.
Yes.
President. Dick Cheney. Vice President. Dick Cheney. I'm just kidding. No, people make that joke because Dick Cheney was a very powerful vice president. He actually was the first one to have a office right next to the Oval. So, and it's very funny, the story about Dick Cheney is he was the one who was supposed to select the vice president for George W. Bush, and selected himself at the end of the process.
There you go.
So yeah, so very interesting.
Not a dumb person.
No. So the 2000 election was very contentious, to say the least.
Yes, I was. Now this was my first. No, let's see. The first time I voted, I think, was Reagan, but I was voting. I'm a part of this history.
Yes.
I lived in Florida at the time. Traveled from Florida. I voted before I left to go overseas to Europe. I was going to do those school assemblies over there.
What county were you in?
I was in Palm Beach County.
Okay, yeah, that was one of them. Yep.
Yeah, well, I know.
Yep.
Because as I looked at the thing, you punch out these Chads, which I didn't know that was the word until after all this hit the news. So
no,
I punch them out.
Chad. The plural of Chad is Chad.
Oh, is it?
Yes. Anyway,
so I punch out the Chad, and that's so weird. And I thought, I had to look at it a few times, but I get this. But my thought was, there are people in my county that are in their 70s, 80s, 90s that they're going to vote.
What was the guy's name?
And they're not going to get this.
The guy, the very cultural Christian who a lot of people voted for, Republican guy.
During this time?
Yeah, and he was on the ballot too, and people who tried to vote for Gore voted for him. Well, Pat Robertson he'd already done it back. What was his name?
He was against the first Bush.
Yeah.
But there was an evangelical that ran. I can't remember that. Was it there during the 90s? I mean, 2000? Anyway, so I get to Europe, and the first thing I see on the news is hanging Chad. The whole Chad. There's got to be a recount in Florida. Anyway, but you know what? They recount and they figured it out.
So anyway, well, no, not exactly, but we'll go over this quick because it's still argumentative. But Gore won the popular vote in the United States, and they were going to recount Florida's votes. They did it a number of times. They weren't done yet, but the Supreme Court stopped the recount. So that's about all I'll say about that.
No, were you too young to not know what happened, or what? Kevin. They did the recount. And they wanted a second one or a third one, and they said no. So they didn't stop in the middle of the recount.
Kind of. They recounted like one county, and then there were a bunch of protests that made them stop. and they didn't do all the recounts.
They did at least one for everybody.
They did some kind of something to recount.
Stop.
They did not recount all the votes in Florida.
Whatever.
But
anyway, everything that legally could have been done was done, so it was all, whether you think it's fair or not, I don't think O.J. being set free was fair, but the courts said he was innocent, so there you go. That is the law of the land.
Well, the court stopped the recounts.
Al needs to get over it. He's still talking about it. I saw him on the news, and he's still talking about, I wished I would, whatever.
Okay, well, hold on. Let's move on from that. All right. So, more conservative than his father.
Al Gore wasn't president when 9/11 happened.
But he had, he had a very kind of a good guy, bad guy foreign policy. This idea that, he really put people kind of in these, kind of light and dark kind of ethos, and the idea that, of course, we ended up coming up with, North Korea, Iran, and Iraq. This was the axis of evil, so he spoke in these very, biblical, almost grandiose terms. It's kind of the persona that he had.
Book, and I read his book when he was running, and he was saying that he felt it was almost a calling. Oh, no, he thought it was a calling. Yeah. He had been inspired by the pastor of his church, and really felt that God had spoken to him that he was supposed to be at the country for the time that he was supposed to be there, which to me turned out to be true after 9/11. But go ahead.
Yeah, so another kind of motif that he carried was kind of this somebody described it, kind of a national sheriff motif. He kind of had this, Texas sheriff kind of appeal, to him. So he went to Yale and Harvard Business School and was a former governor of Texas. But he still, even though he kind of had these, even though he's the son of a former president, all this, still fit the outsider image, even though he had all these credentials and kind of, past. So,
and the first not in the Navy, right? Or no. Clinton was not.
Clinton actually was. Reagan wasn't. So there was like 6 in a row.
Okay,
but he wasn't. He was in the reserves. Yeah, Army Reserves, was it?
I think so. No, Air Force.
Air Force? Okay, gotcha. So the Decider, that's kind of his moniker,
Decider.
Yes. So
strategery. He came up with some great words.
Yes, yes. So this is kind of interesting because we talked about yesterday with Bill Clinton. They were kind of, the meetings would be late, kind of a little haphazard a little bit. That was his management style, and it worked for him. For the Bushes, he was more rigorous and orderly. I think, his guys, Karl Rove, Karl Rove was the policy guy. Dick Cheney was really the chief of staff in a lot of ways, So, that's kind of how they ran their White House. But of course, a year and a half after he became president was September 11th, 2001. Essentially, for people that don't know, of course, we do know because this event shaped pretty much everything that's happened in the last 16 years was shaped by 9/11.
Yeah.
But these hijackers from Saudi Arabia who were essentially given the task by Al Qaeda and bin Laden hijacked 2. Well, I think actually 4 planes, or 3 or 4 planes.
4 planes. One went into the Pentagon.
2 in the towers, and then
the Pennsylvania one was heading for the White House. They really believe.
They think so. Yeah.
The other two,
and they took it down.
Horrible.
So and then there's just this incredible moment where George W. Bush stand on the rubble and said, and the people who knocked these towers down will hear from all of us soon. And just was this incredible patriotic rallying moment. Then there's this incredible moment where he went to the New York Yankees baseball game and just threw the perfect first pitch, and of course he used to own the Texas Rangers, so he was a baseball guy.
Right.
So we launched the war in Afghanistan first, Kevin, and this is the one that I believe was the most warranted of the 2 wars.
Right.
It's actually where the people who attacked us were. And we also organized a new cabinet position, which was the Department of Homeland Security, which combined a lot of the intelligence agencies that were under different Department of Defense and kind of put them into one broad kind of terroristly focused organization.
But I think at the beginning they weren't colluding with each other. I think they were all separate.
Yeah, and Kevin, when I used to be somewhat scared of this because I was really scared of a lot of the stuff like the Patriot Act and the Homeland Security, because I was really scared because of the whole thing about the privacy and the thing that gets in more. But the more that's come out, I'm not too worried about that anymore, because I just think if you don't have anything to hide, what's there to hide?
What's
you know
there
what
to
I
hide?
mean?
Right.
So I don't know. I used to be a lot more scared about that kind of stuff.
On the other side of that, and I agree mostly with you, but on the other side of that is what can they do with the information about you if they wanted to?
And the scariest thing is that you can trust the president that's in the office at that point, but what if you don't trust the next president? Or even a few presidents down the road. What if you don't trust that president?
Yeah,
you know?
dictatorish.
Yeah, so
I think one of the best things that I think it was President Obama did was open up communications between FBI, CIA, and Homeland Security, so that so everybody's on the same page.
They've
which
always
is what
been in a war. FBI, CIA. You know, there's some books written about. So maybe nowadays they're more. But yeah. So then we launched the war in Iraq. You know, and there's a lot of debate about that.
After what we talked about the other day, and we are so short on time. Maybe we should give George W. another day.
Well, we only have a little bit more with him.
Okay, but after what you said the other day, George H.W. Bush did not go and get Saddam Hussein, because of the whole what's going to happen if he did. He knew that he stuck to his objective, finished it, got him out of Kuwait, end of story.
Yeah.
So then if that was how his father felt, why did he feel like it was a mandate to go and get Saddam Hussein?
Because when people criticized him about it, Kevin, people criticized him and said, well, he was just wanting to fulfill what his father didn't. But that's not what his father wanted to do.
No, that's why now I'm confused.
Yeah.
Except for one thing that I really think. And it's not a criticism about him as necessarily.
I know what you're going to say.
You do?
I think, yeah.
Cheney and Rumsfeld ran it.
Well, yeah, and I tell you what, too, that George H.W. Bush
influenced him.
And I know we don't like to use this word, but George H.W. Bush hates Donald Rumsfeld. He does. He always has. He has to this day. He thinks he ruined his son's administration in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I mean, he just is that they are enemies. They always have been ever since the Reagan administration. George H.W. Bush does not like Donald Rumsfeld, and he believes that he led his son in a lot of not good ways when it comes to foreign policy.
Because if you're going to do it, and I do admit that he killed a lot of people. I mean, Saddam Hussein was gassing.
Yeah, he's a bad guy. No doubt about it.
But then, what's your game plan when it's done?
And I like what Trump said. I like what Trump said. If we're going over there for the oil, take the oil.
Take the oil.
We didn't even take the oil. Like, I mean, come on. So a few more things we'll cover, and then we'll kind of wrap up George W. Bush. But you know, so he gave out that tax rebate, which everybody got.
Yeah, a couple
$100. You know,
per family member.
Yep. He passed Medicare Part D, which is kind of controversial because there was supposedly a loophole in Medicare between certain drugs. There was a prescription drug loophole, and George W. Bush went and created a new mandate, Medicare Part D, that would cover this loophole for people who needed Medicaid and Medicare.
Yeah.
But we also cut taxes. So it's difficult to do both. It's difficult to majorly cut taxes and also create a new mandate. It's also very difficult to do what he did, which we've never done in our history, which was have a major war, in fact, 2 major wars, and also cut taxes.
Yeah.
You know, we look back at World War II when we had Victory Gardens and Rosie the Riveter, and everybody was in on it, and people paid more into the system because we were patriotic. We believed in that. So that's something that I don't think was the best decision in the world, because you cut taxes and also you increase the military budget because we have these 2 wars, and it creates a lot of problems. But then we had a housing bubble, and I don't think the housing bubble really was his fault. A lot of it had to do with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and their subprime mortgages they were given to people who did not deserve them, did not need them. And
you put all that together.
We have one of the worst
President 44
crashes.
has inherited, a lot of stuff he had to bail out, which gave him not a good head start.
Our unemployment was at 10%. Our stock market was at 6,000. It's now at 20,000. So yeah, we were in tough shape in 2008, 2009.
So it's not always how you start.
That's right.
You have to finish
strong. That's right. That's right.
But I still think he was there for the crisis part, and that to me was the best part of that. It's time for our devotional time. Are you ready?
Yeah, and I'll just say, your presidency gets defined by those things, especially if they happen early.
Even if they're not your fault, like
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. But anyway, so got a few minutes here, and we want to go into the Word and have a devotional. We want to make sure you join us at our 11 o'clock. Kevin Shorey Show, taping at 11 o'clock. The live taping, you can see the taping. It's not edited, put together, so you'll see all the warts and everything else that go with it. But today, the owner of the Passion Play in Eureka Springs and the wonderful place out there, Randall Christie, will be with us today. And Tammy Joplin's going to sing some songs for us today.
Man.
It's the first time on our program, but she's a good singer. I've heard her. And she's really good. We did a Jammin' for Jesus together. But we ready to go into the Word? We got a word song.
Word song.
A word song. Word song for the Devo of the day.
Thy word is a lamp unto my feet.
That's right, Amy. Sing it. I want to go from the first letter written to Timothy from Paul, 1 Timothy. And he said, I urge you as you go into Macedonia, remain in Ephesus that you may charge some that teach no other doctrine. Having some problems in the church. Timothy, you're the pastor. Take care of some stuff. Do not give heed to fables and endless genealogies. I guess people were saying how, well, my genealogy is this, and so I'm better than this, and they're having a who's better than you contest.
Yeah.
This just causes disputes rather than godly edification, which is in the faith. The purpose of the great commandment. What did Jesus say? You fulfill all the law if you do this. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. It's all about love, L-O-V-E, love. Or as Fred Flintstone spelled it, L-U-V. But now, he says the purpose of the commandment is love. How do we know that we have love? You love from a pure heart, from a good conscience, and from sincere faith, which some have strayed, even strayed aside with idle talk. This idle talk and gossiping and things will just not only try to ruin a church, will try to wreck fellowship at all times. We need to be careful. These are what I call love stoppers. This is what you're going to stop love. The main goal of life, the main goal, the greatest commandment is to love the Lord God, but to love one another as you love yourself, to love your neighbor as yourself, to bless those even that persecute you or speak evilly of you. You are to zip your lip when it comes to these things. But love stoppers, he says, the things that cause love are a pure heart, good conscience, sincere faith. So what is a love stopper? An impure heart. You can't mix with the world. You can't have other idols and be polluted and say that you have a pure heart. Gold is purified or refined by removing the impurities. Whether it's through the fire, we talked about that yesterday, but removing the impurities. An impure mix with the pure is still polluted. And if there's things that are coming from the world, because it's the world's way to attack, to backbite, to gossip. It's the world's way to say, it's a dog-eat-dog. I'm going to get mine. I'm entitled. I'm going to take you down. I'm going to be the number one man. And this is what was happening in the church then, and it happens today. But number one, don't let love be stopped because of an impure heart. Whatever gets between you and God, that is an idol, and that is breaking one of the 10 commandments. A couple of them, have no other God before me, not worship any other idols. 2 of them. So that's an impure heart. So have a pure heart. And I could preach forever on this, but we got to go fast. And it says, have a good or clear conscience. This is our moral, our inward character. Strive to live with a good conscience, that everything you do, you feel good about it. Not, oh, was that good? Or if there's any doubts, do without, Hidden sin is never really hidden. Not only does God know, God knows everything, but sins are always revealed. I'm telling you, that always comes out. I'm telling you, you can never hide it. It'll come out one way or another. So don't stop, be a love stopper with an impure heart or a bad conscience. And thirdly, he says, have a sincere faith. This is being honest in your faith. This is being what God has called us to be, honest and truthful. Whatever things are excellent and praiseworthy, to think on these things, to speak these things. Don't just talk the talk. Walk the walk. The word sincere comes from the Greek word inexperienced in the art of acting. That's what's insincere, actually insincere. Inexperienced in the art of acting. So what they would do in Greek tragedies or comedies, they would wear the different masks. For joy, they had a joy mask. For sadness, there was a sad mask. This is it. So don't be two-faced. Be true-faced.
Yes.
Right? Be honest from a pure heart and sincere faith. Honest in your faith. Honest before God. It's the honesty before God that got you saved. When you said, I admit I'm a sinner. I confess I have done wrong. That is what brought your salvation. And if there's road bumps along the way, be honest and sincere in your faith. Yeah, I'm going through a bumpy road, but God, I need your help. Maybe there are those that you talk about that you need to talk with and have fellowship with one another. The days of the Lord are coming soon. He is coming very soon. I believe that with all my heart. And it says, forsake not the assembling of yourselves together, even more so as you see the day of the Lord approaching. And as the day of the Lord is approaching, I want you to have a pure heart, a clear conscience, and a sincere faith. More than that, God wants you to have that. Paul told Timothy that's what's going to purify and help the church, and that will keep the flow of love going. God, help us to have a clear conscience. Help us to love you, to love others, to have a pure heart before you. You said, blessed are those who are pure in heart, for those are the ones that actually shall see God. And so we want to see you. We want to be with you. Give us a sincere faith that puts our trust in you and not in man and the things around us. Help us, God. And we pray that everyone within the sound of my voice will be blessed today and will discern good from evil all the days of their life and put their trust in you to love you and to love one another. And God, I pray for the peace of Jerusalem today, and I pray for our nation today, from our president all the way down, that they'll make decisions that are godly and with the godly wisdom. And we'll give you the thanks and the praise in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. God is there. If God is for you, who can be against you?
I remember, I looked it up. I remember that name of that person I couldn't think of that was on.
Yeah, who was it?
Pat Buchanan.
Oh, Pat Buchanan.
Yeah.
Did he run again then?
No, so he was on the reform ticket.
He was no preacher.
So that was what. Well, I thought he was like a really conservative. I didn't know exactly. I wasn't around too much, but
he was too conservative.
But so it was like. Because it was like, okay, George W. Bush, and then it was like, there were butterfly ballot.
I think, bro, though, he went against George H.W. I don't
No, he was on the ballot, the Reform Ballot 2000, because that was, because a bunch of old ladies
I remember.
They were trying to vote for Gore, and they voted for
Pat Buchanan.
Yeah.
Pat Buchanan got some of a vote there for the first time.
So that was part of the story, too. Yeah, I forgot his name, but yeah. Because there was a butterfly ballot where it was like, you vote, okay, George Bush here, and then Gore here, and then Buchanan right here. So people were confused. They thought this side
I saw it. I know.
went to go to that.
I told you, I'm a part of history. I was living in Palm Beach County when I voted.
Yes.
And I just knew.
How about just the little marker? You just put a circle. Isn't that easy?
Yeah, that's what we do here in Missouri.
Yeah. It's like, come on.
Do they still have the Chad?
I don't know about the Chad.
In Florida?
Anymore.
I don't know, because I haven't lived in Florida for a while.
The Republic of Chad, but I don't know about
the Republic of Chad. Well, we had a good time today on AM Kevin, and we're glad you're here. Stay tuned for the 11 o'clock program. Our special guest, Randall Christie, will be here today. It's going to be a great day. Find out what's happening down there in Eureka Springs and in his ministry and all those great things. I know it will be a blessing to you. He always comes with a good word for everybody, and so there'll be a good word for you today. Remember, if God told you to do something, don't stop. Keep going. And that's what we've been told to do, and so that's what we're doing here. And we're just glad that you can be a part of us, and we do need your help today. Please pray about helping all of you that are watching Facebook Live, YouTube Live, all of the different networks from Alabama to Texas and Missouri and Arkansas. We're on television there, but we're also go to our network, WGAN on Roku. Get your Roku, man. If you're getting a new TV, get a new TV with the Roku box. That would be really cool. And not the box, it's actually built in into the TV.
Like,
you can get to your
$100 TVs. You don't have to spend,
Yeah, because the box used to be like $40,
flat
$60.
screen, this size, $100. They're getting cheaper
with the Roku.
Every day. Oh yeah, Roku, YouTube, all that
and then
stuff.
all you do is punch in WGAN TV. WGAN, so you remember, stands for We Got a Network. So you go to WGAN TV and watch our network, and it's 24 hours a day. We have, T.D. Jakes and Joyce Meyer. They're on our, Dr. Hegstrom, Ron Childress. We have all of the guests have been here on there, as well as those wonderful people. Perry Stone the other day was blessing me on my own network, which is awesome, plus 24 hours of our program, past and present. And so go there, WGAN, and go to kevinshorey.com and find the different ways. All you do is push one of the buttons. You see some of the products or things, and just order today, call today, write today. Go to kevinshorey.com or call 844-47-KEVIN. 844-47-KEVIN. Just rolls out of your tongue so you don't forget. 844-47-KEVIN. Sound of the music. You can barely hear it, but the sound of that music that I can hear.
Alive with the sound of music.
So it's time to go. And we'll be back at 11 with Kevin.
Last president tomorrow.
What's that? I know, last president. We got to start with dictators
Generals or something.
I know. Number 44. Well, no, it's not the last one.
But that one's not done yet, so I can't really.
True, we can't really report on it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's done. Believe me. No. Come on. We'll see you tomorrow.